Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to ECT. I go by the name of Khalid, and today we're going to talk about this subject of racism. And the reason why I wanted to bring this topic up is because I keep having people coming to me telling me that racism still exists. Racism is still a thing. People are still getting killed and hung off trees, and there's people still being kidnapped and put in slavery. I mean, this shit is just ridiculous, and it's nonstop. And I always ask these people, what laws are in place right now in 2020 that allows people to be discriminated against because of the color of their skin? So the clip that I'm getting ready to show you next is of Mr. John Deberry Jr. out of Tennessee, who is a Democratic representative, and he goes completely off on this fake narrative of racism, and he tells you what he experienced in the real era of racism, the Jim Crow era. So let's go ahead and roll the clip.
As I continue to hear references to what I saw in growing up in this country and growing up in the state of Tennessee, as I walked with my father and worked with my father here in the state of Tennessee, in Memphis, Tennessee, and across this state and across this country, in the middle of what has been referenced to on several occasions, the civil rights movement. And, you know, people continue to refer to this, but I saw it. I saw men and women stand with courage and integrity and class, and they changed the world. They changed the world because what the world could see in them was the lie that was being told about them. I am one of those individuals who walked in back doors because the law said I had to. I'm one of those individuals who rode on the back of the bus, on the back seats that were not cushioned because the law said I had to. I went to the water and drank colored water because the law said I had to. I went to a school where everybody looked like me and the country was divided and segregated because the law said that I had to. So all of these things we continue to refer to are the things that me and my generation lived. We saw it for ourselves. We're not reading it in the history books, but we lived it.
Now, as you can see, everything he said is spot on. He actually went through the Jim Crow South where there were laws in place that allow people to be discriminated against because they were black. There are no laws like that in 2020 whatsoever, not one. So where are these people getting this from? What racism do you have evidence of that allows you to have the freedom to go burn buildings down, burn businesses down, and attack people on the street? I mean, the chaos got so out of hand, and there's even black people dying because of it, and nobody from the Black Lives Matter side is saying anything about it. But let a white boy kill a man of color or a black man, and it'll be a problem. Not only that, they're not mentioning, they're not telling you that white people get killed by the police at the same rate. They're not telling you that the majority of the cases that are police shootings happen because the person who was the suspect that the police got called on, or that the police got called in for, is actually a criminal 9 times out of 10. And they keep defending this guy, Jacob Blake, who had the police called on him, who showed up because he showed up to his girlfriend's house, wasn't supposed to be there, had a warrant for his arrest, had sexual assault charges, had violent offense charges, had domestic violence charges. I mean, I can go on. But we're sitting up here protecting him. You got LeBron James protecting him on live TV. Haven't heard anything from him since he tried to boycott the playoffs and then wants to call it back on a couple days later. Time wasted. Moving along. Where is this racism? I mean, where's my notebook? Wrote down some things today that I found very interesting. So all this systemic racism going on, and I found laws in place right now by the federal government that prevents people of color from being discriminated against because of their skin color. Everything is about white people being bad now. Everything is about white people being racist. And nobody has evidence of this. Nobody. Just because a person calls the police on somebody doesn't mean they did it because they're black. What is your evidence of that? What is your evidence for that? Don't switch it up and say, you don't see it. There's still racism going on. Don't do that. Tell me, what is your evidence? That's all I care about. That's all I care about. I don't care about nothing else. So right here, I'm not even going to read all of them. I'm just going to read a couple of them, because you're going to get the point once I start telling you the names of these laws. All right. The first one is Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice. The second one is the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Education. The third one is the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, where this law right here is important because this gives businesses the incentive to meet a quota for black people. Why do you have to meet a quota for black people? Moving along. The Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs, the FBI, and you know what the FBI is famous for. I always see these memes and these fake ass posts on Facebook, people talking about, why don't the FBI shut down the KKK or shut down the KKK like they did the Black Panther Party? That's because they actually did, bucko. They actually did shut down the KKK. That's why the Ku Klux Klan isn't coming to the neighborhoods in this country where I'm staying at and burning crosses on my goddamn front lawn. The KKK you see today doing rallies, it's not the same people that they were back in the Reconstruction era when they had more freedom to intimidate people, by the way, for the Democratic Party, the same party that Black Lives Matter is funding for, but they also got these dummies out here tearing down Confederate soldier statues. But they're working for the party who gave them Jim Crow. Moving along. State Civil Rights Commissions, local human rights commissions, state attorneys general, that comes with tens of thousands of investigators and enforcers and compliance officers who are people of color. Do I need to go on? Do I need to go on? I mean, local prosecutors and private attorneys who enforce sprawling framework of civil rights and equal opportunity laws, including Title VII of the 1964 Act, Sections 1981, 82, 83 of the Civil Rights Act of 1966. I mean, I can go on. These laws are in place to keep black people from being discriminated against. Where is the racism? I had to hit you with the Donald Trump hands. Where is the racism? Show me. Drop that evidence in the comments. Please like, share. If you feel like this message is important, man, share this video, man. Get this information out there, because I'm going to cover topics I don't see a lot of people cover. I'm going to talk about some things that might make a lot of people uncomfortable. So we got to get this information out there so we don't have to deal with this nonsense no more. So y'all have a good day. That's all I got time for. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. Peace.